Hello all, welcome to another quick learning. Today we're going back to CodeSignal to work on the database SQL coding exercises. If you'd like to join from the first video, I'll put a link in the description below so you can go to that if you wish. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to the arcade, going to databases. So we're starting a new section here. Express your creativity. So based on that, you know that it's about creating tables in this case. So we have to implement the missing code in the ellipsis, and then they already have this select star from orderAnalytics, order by ID. So basically they just want you to create the orderAnalytics table, and then this will do the rest. So you're working in a big delivery company that has to handle a lot of orders. The information about all orders is stored in the table orders. Here is its structure. So you've got an ID, which is a unique order ID, the order date, having the date type, and then a type, which is a type of product, a quantity, and a price. In order to get a better view of your data, you decided to create a new table called order_analytics. It should contain the same orders as the orders and consist of the following columns. So you've got an ID, a year, a quarter, type, total price, which is the price times the quantity. Quarter of the year is defined as follows. So standard first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Given the table orders, build the new table orderAnalytics and print all its rows ordered by order IDs, which this will do once we have the table created. Alright, so let's look at the orders table. So we've got just an ID, just an ascending unique ID here. You got the order date, type, type of order, quantity, and price. And this is what the output should be, an ID. They want you to split out the year, quarter, keep the type, and then multiply these two to get the total price. Alright, so let's look at how we would create this table. So the first thing we would do is put this statement in here, because when you run this procedure, you are probably going to run it more than once. So if the table already exists, you want to drop the table. So this drop table if exists, orderAnalytics. If it doesn't exist, then obviously it can't drop it. And then we're going to create the table. So under create table, you put the name of the new table, and then in parentheses you're going to put all the different columns and also the data type that's associated with each one of those columns. So for the ID, that's an integer. Year is going to be an integer as well. Quarter, an integer. Type is going to be a variable character up to 255 characters. And then the total price is also an integer. Total price could also be a float, since there might be some decimal points. But in this case, it looks like these are all integers. So it looks like it'll be fine. So we've created the table now with this statement, and you need a semicolon after these two statements to show SQL that that is the end of the SQL statement. And then we have to insert the data into this table. So the insert statement, you do insert into, and then the table name that you want to insert into. And then you're going to put, you can either put in parentheses the columns and then put values, and then put the values that'll go into those columns, or you can just directly put in the values. And that's what this is doing right here. So this is doing a select query off of the orders table to gather the data that's going to be inserted into the orderAnalytics table. So from the orders table, we're selecting ID. We're using this year function from MySQL. If you're using something like Oracle, you're going to need to do an extract function, extract year, something like that, from the column. And then quarter, same thing. You can use a quarter function with MySQL. And then we just use the type column as it is from the table, and then we just do the sum of price times quantity for this total price column. We don't need to give it an alias because it knows that it's going to insert into this table into the order that the the columns are in that table. Now you can do these in a different order if you specify the columns that you're inserting into specifically, but we're just going to do it this way. So we're doing it from the orders table, and we need a group by because we're doing a aggregate function here with the sum. So then we just take all the rest of the columns and put them in the group by. And then it's just going to do that select statement to give the CodeSignal the table that it can check against to see if you did it correctly. So if we run that, we'll see that that's correct. So hopefully you guys were able to follow along with that. So first thing you want to do is drop the table if it exists, create the table, and then insert into it. And that's pretty much all you need to know. It's actually a fairly simple one once you know how to do the create table and the insert into, which is fairly straightforward. All right, I hope you guys join me for future videos. Thank you very much.